So today we're here to do a demonstration of the flower essences, and I'm here with my friend and client and student Lee, who has taken numerous flower essence workshops and who has worked with these essences for many years as a client as well. So she's pretty well versed on how this all works. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give a little demonstration of what I do in sessions and also what I do in the flower essence workshop. So I'm going to start by asking Lee, when she thinks about her life, how is she feeling in this moment?
I'm really tired.
Really tired. So from overworking, overdoing. So I'm going to give her a dose of elm, which to me, it feels like she's overwhelmed from a very busy day and a very busy life. And so what you do is just take one drop under the tongue and then give the person just a moment to feel the shifts that the flower essence is offering.
Yeah, feeling energy in the back of my neck and head, and the emotional experience is grief.
Grief. So with that, take a dose of Star of Bethlehem. So each remedy is going to take us to the next step on this journey. And the goal is to support the person in getting to a place of neutrality.
Yeah, I feel some of that movement of the grief moving in my system.
And as an empath, I generally tend to feel and go through the experiences with the person. So I'm starting to yawn, which is always a good sign because it's a release of tension and stress in the body.
Yeah, I feel that grief sort of moving, a wave pattern in the body, sort of releasing. And yeah, just more in touch with the level of stress and tension. You just said it, like, there's been a lot of intensity lately, and there's a way in which I'm longing for ease, longing for rest.
So what's the emotion that you're feeling in relation to all this?
I would say tension, intensity. Intensity feels like the emotion, like not quite the overwhelm as before, but like hanging on for dear life kind of feeling.
Yeah. So that would be vervain.
Yeah. I feel my energy just went more solid.
More present?
Not quite present yet, but like this moving down of energy, sort of a grounding feeling, like a solid feeling.
Good.
Stable.
So now when you think about your life, how do you feel?
Yeah, still a longing for rest, ease. Wanting more trust and flow and ease. So the feeling is, this is a feeling, desiring support, wanting support. So a little under-resourced. Still that feeling of under-resourced.
Take a dose of oak. Oak is for people that tend to take on a lot in the world and feel like they're carrying so many burdens, so they can get tired and feel like they're doing everything by themselves.
So yeah, there was just this release out the back body. Just this like letting go of things sort of out the back body, like I'd been carrying a weight and now there's less of that weight.
So she's speaking exactly how the remedy performs. So like the oak tree takes on so many burdens, diseases. That's the tree that just like can take so much and keep going. And The oak personality is also that way. It just keeps going and going and going and saying, sure, I can do it, sure, I can do it. At a certain point, the being gets very exhausted by carrying all these burdens.
Yeah. Noticing wanting to feel even lighter. Still, there's a certain heaviness, a certain weight. Even though there was a release out the back, there's still a feeling like up in here of heavy. The emotion being weighed down, I'd say. Lighter, but still like a weight.
Take a dose of willow.
Yeah, more air, more fresh, more light. Yeah, that brought a lot more lightness. More like a feathery touch.
Yeah, I could feel the letting go. Willow is for feeling like a victim. So even though she didn't say the words, I could feel that underlying what she was experiencing was a sense of I'm a victim.
Yeah, I feel a lot lighter. Still, the central channel, like tension. You know, it's almost like the more superficial or the external has released, but there's still a sense of in the internal, like the. If I were to tune into it, it's like I'm not enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not gonna get it right. I'm not gonna get it done. A sort of a desperate feeling, getting down to like a little bit of a more central belief system.
So take a dose of larch. Larch is for self-confidence and strength.
Dissipated some. Yeah, dissipated some. It's like every time I take a dose, it's like it gets subtler and subtler and subtler and more pointed. Like now I'm feeling this whole part here. Like it went from the central channel to just right here.
And what's the emotion?
What's the emotion? Worry.
Take a dose of white chestnut. So I'm looking down at I have a kit as well as she, and I'm looking down to see which remedies arise in my consciousness that best fits and describes her experience.
Watch that clear here, feeling more access here.
White chestnut is for the churning, worrying, thinking, excessively thinking mind.
Yeah, it's getting more and closer to neutral.
So when you think about your life, how do you feel?
More ease, more tranquility, more flow. More letting go.
I'm going to say take a dose of chestnut bud. I'm saying chestnut bud because I know Lee pretty well, and it's for patterns that need to be broken. Like when you keep repeating patterns over and over again, chestnut bud helps to break the pattern so that you can move on in life and not continue doing things that may not be in one's best interest. So that big sigh is the nervous system coming back into balance, into a parasympathetic state, which is a relaxation response.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Her system's a lot calmer.
Mm-hmm.
She's more internal, less external.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about your life, how do you feel?
Yeah, that last round of like the patterns and repeating patterns, there's some disappointment in myself that came up, like some disappointment in this similar patterns, the story that I have to work, so hard, or it has to be so difficult. Like, yeah, definitely some sadness that story is still there.
Take a dose of honeysuckle.
Repeating. Uh-huh.
Honeysuckle is for when we get caught up in the past and doing things from the past way. And it brings you clearly into the present moment.
Yeah. More excitement about now, more excitement about future, less weight. Yeah, like something just cleared here. More joy.
So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to hear positive soul qualities. Sounds like freedom, joy, openness, expansiveness.
That one really helped, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the goal, to move from these lower emotions, so to speak, or dysfunctional patterns like fear or repeating experiences in the past, or anger or irritation or impatience, to more of the qualities of joy, presence, acceptance, unconditional love, etc., etc. So now when you think about your life, how do you feel?
Ease, trust. Still a need for rest, still a need for integration, but also just like, it'll happen, like just trusting.
So I'm going to give her, because it sounds like there's some exhaustion, I'm going to give her olive, which is for when, after a long struggle or using your vital forces and there's not much left, olive is a great remedy to reestablish one's energy.
Yeah, that helped me want to open my eyes a little more. Be here. Take care of myself at the basics, eating, sleeping. Basics.
Great.
Yeah, so good.
So I can feel that she's arrived at that plateau that I'm looking for, which is present, neutral, aware, open, centered, grounded. That's the goal. And that took probably, less than 15 minutes to get there. So this is the power of the flower essences and how it can re-establish one's center as it clears these sabotaging patterns that we hold within our consciousness, we hold in our bodies for many, many, many years. So depending upon how long one has been holding these dysfunctional patterns decides or depends on how long one needs to take the remedies. And so now what I would do is put the combination of remedies I just gave her in a bottle, and I would have her take 2 drops 4 times a day, ongoing until the bottle is finished, which is about a month. And then each day she will notice her awareness bring her back to the present, so that when she starts to go into these dysfunctional patterns again, the remedies are saying, hey, let's take a step back. Let's not overburden, overwhelm ourselves. Let's create our schedule to be in a way that is harmonious with our level of energy. We don't have to constantly overdo, overwork, overthink, overworry, take care of everybody. We don't have to do that anymore. So the flower essences lovingly in a subtle but profound way, just help to guide each one of us with the combination that we're taking to a path that is self-empowering. And there you have it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear.